Scorpio, stop for a second and stay with me here. Take one deep breath and clear your mind, because this message was never meant to reach everyone. It was not created for people scrolling out of curiosity or for crowds searching for entertainment. Somehow, through all the noise, it found the person it was meant to find. And today, that person is you. 5 powerful shifts are circling your life, and May 16 and 17, 2026 will not arrive quietly. These days crash into your old timeline like something buried beneath the surface, finally breaking through stone. Everything that has resisted your growth begins to shake loose, and every invisible wall standing in your way starts losing its grip. What begins during these 2 days feels less like coincidence and more like destiny stepping out of the shadows. Around May 16th, strange signs begin surfacing without warning. People react to you differently, conversations carry unusual weight, and your instincts become impossible to ignore. You may feel it under your skin, like a hidden current building pressure inside your body, because this message did not reach you by accident. Something larger pulled you toward this moment and placed you directly in front of it for a reason. But there is another layer unfolding beneath everything you can already sense. A quiet resistance is moving around you, almost like certain energies recognize that your life is shifting before you fully do. That pressure you have been carrying is not random, because the closer a breakthrough gets, the more distractions and emotional weight seem to appear. Shadows move when transformation gets close, and Scorpio, you have survived too much to stop now. This is your moment to stay alert and trust what your instincts already know. May 17 is not simply another date on the calendar, because it acts like a turning point where your destiny begins moving in a different direction. 5 breakthroughs begin opening at once, and the things you cried over, waited on, and silently carried for so long start moving toward you instead of away from you. You are walking into a period where locked doors suddenly give way, stalled paths begin opening, and people who underestimated you lose their certainty. Something significant is positioning itself in front of your life, and deep down, you already feel the shift happening. That heavy sensation sitting in your chest or stomach since last night was never weakness. It was your intuition recognizing the change before your mind could explain it. Now the momentum starts building fast, one blessing after another, intense and impossible to hold back. It feels like the part of you that survived the darkest season is finally stepping forward to take control. Scorpio, if you felt even the slightest chill while hearing this message, type, "I rise stronger this time." Your comment becomes your confirmation, and that confirmation seals the energy around this breakthrough. Scorpio, let's step into the first breakthrough, because this one carries a different kind of weight. For a long time, maybe longer than anyone around you realized, it felt like you were forcing your way through locked doors that refused to move. You kept trying, kept showing up, kept believing something would finally shift, yet every time you came close, another delay, another silence, or another obstacle appeared right in front of you. But May 16 and 17, 2026 begin breaking that pattern apart. The path that stayed hidden suddenly starts opening like something buried underground, finally cracking through the surface. What kept slipping away from you begins turning back around, and the opportunity that once felt unreachable moves directly into your hands. This is not a minor change in energy. It feels immediate, powerful, and almost unreal once it begins. You will recognize the shift quickly. A job response finally arrives. A message appears after long silence. An approval comes through, or a connection that stayed distant suddenly reaches back toward you. It feels like life finally stops resisting your movement and starts pulling you forward instead. Scorpio, you have been trapped in a cycle of waiting for too long. But now that pressure begins turning into motion, the part of your life that felt frozen begins breathing again. The thing that seemed completely dead starts waking beneath the surface, and what once looked impossible suddenly feels within reach. What makes this moment so intense is the speed, because this breakthrough does not arrive slowly or gently. It comes like a hidden door swinging open all at once, almost shocking you with how quickly everything changes. It feels as if the universe is recovering lost time on your behalf. You carried burdens most people never saw, and you endured setbacks that were never fully yours to carry in the first place. This time, the delay transforms into acceleration, and the energy around your life begins moving faster than before. Yet you will not be the only person who notices this shift happening. Someone close to you senses it too, but their reaction feels heavier than expected. The moment your path starts opening, another person's insecurity quietly rises to the surface. They notice your energy changing, they feel your momentum building, and they recognize that your life is finally moving beyond the place where they expected you to remain. You may see it through strange distance, forced compliments, shorter replies, awkward silence, or subtle remarks designed to shake your focus. Their behavior changes because your transformation forces them to confront what they have avoided within themselves. Still, their discomfort cannot interfere with what is already unfolding for you. Your new timeline has already started moving, and your path is continuing to clear itself step by step. Scorpio, what have you been asking the universe for this week? Write it in the comments below, because putting it into words strengthens the intention behind it. The moment you speak it clearly, you begin giving that desire shape in the real world. And this is only the first breakthrough. 4 more are still unfolding, so stay with this message. Scorpio, let's move into the second breakthrough, because this part touches the pressure you have been carrying in silence for far too long. The area of your life tied to money, stability, and survival is finally beginning to shift forward. This is not some small improvement or temporary relief. It feels more like your entire financial story is being rewritten beneath the surface in real time. For months, maybe even longer, you have tried to stay steady while carrying stress most people never fully noticed. You kept pushing yourself to stay responsible, patient, and composed, even while uncertainty kept circling around you. Deep down, you were waiting for the moment when life would finally stop tightening around you and begin opening instead. Scorpio, May 16th and 17th, 2026, carry the energy of that turning point. This is when your money timeline starts accelerating instead of standing still. Opportunities that once seemed distant begin moving toward you with unexpected speed, and the energy around abundance finally starts flowing in your direction again. You are going to notice several powerful signs that this shift has already begun unfolding around you. The first sign may arrive as unexpected money, whether large or small, appearing at a moment you did not see coming. The second sign comes through opportunity, perhaps a message, an offer, a collaboration, a client, or a conversation that suddenly opens a door that stayed hidden before. It arrives clearly and quickly, carrying the feeling that something important is changing underneath your life. The third sign appears through another person speaking to you about business, career, finances, or long-term growth. The conversation feels unusually aligned, almost as if it arrived at the exact moment you needed to hear it. Then comes the fourth sign, which matters more than all the others because it rises from within you. You suddenly feel an intense instinct pushing you toward action, almost like a quiet force inside you saying, "Move now." That moment becomes the turning point where your financial timeline begins shifting into something new. It is the moment where the opportunity stops hovering around you and finally asks you to step toward it. Scorpio, one of the deepest truths here is that abundance does not always appear because you exhausted yourself trying harder. Sometimes it arrives because your energy stopped chasing and finally became aligned with what was already trying to reach you. During May 16 and 17, your energy begins reconnecting with stability, momentum, and expansion in a way that has not happened in a long time. This is your financial acceleration, your opening, your release from the cycle that kept draining you. But there is one condition attached to this breakthrough. You will have to say yes to something you normally hesitate to trust. One decision, one bold response, or one moment of courage changes the direction of everything. Your fears may try to pull you backward, and your doubts may grow louder the closer this opportunity gets. Still, Scorpio, if you want the breakthrough, you must step through the door once it opens, because the universe can reveal the path, but only you can choose to walk it. This is your moment, your timeline, and your financial story is beginning to rise. Scorpio, type, money flows toward me now to anchor this new timeline into motion. Scorpio, it is time for the third breakthrough, and this one reaches into your destiny in a way you have not experienced in a very long time. During May 16 and 17, 2026, someone with real influence begins turning their attention back toward you again. This is not a random memory passing briefly through their mind or a moment of casual curiosity that fades away. Their focus feels deliberate, emotionally charged, and impossible to ignore, because this is someone whose presence has always carried weight somewhere inside your life. This person could be a mentor who once saw potential in you before anyone else did, someone with powerful connections, a soulmate who shared an intense emotional bond with you, or someone whose energy quietly remained attached to your story even after distance formed between you. The moment they begin thinking about you again, your own energy reacts almost instantly. You feel it in your chest, in your instincts, and in that sudden emotional pull that makes you stop in the middle of your day and wonder why someone's presence suddenly feels so close again. Their attention toward you becomes stronger in ways that are difficult to dismiss. They begin re-evaluating your value, your presence, and the impact you once carried in their life. For some Scorpios, this shift stays subtle at first, but for others, it quickly becomes action. A message appears unexpectedly, a call comes through after silence, someone checks your profile more than once, asks mutual friends about you, or a connection that felt emotionally distant suddenly begins moving back toward you with real intention. And the moment this energy starts returning, something inside you changes too. Your confidence becomes steadier, your focus sharpens, and your momentum begins building in a way that feels undeniable. This person is not reappearing to complete you emotionally or save you from loneliness. Instead, they carry access to an opportunity, a hidden doorway, an important connection, or a level of growth and visibility you have quietly wanted to reach for a long time. The signs surrounding this reconnection feel subtle on the surface, but emotionally powerful underneath. It may arrive through a text that appears at the perfect moment, someone unexpectedly praising your name when you are not present, a sudden reunion that feels strangely aligned, or a message saying they could not stop thinking about you lately. Each of these moments feels connected to something larger, unfolding behind the scenes during May 16th and 17. What makes this shift even more meaningful is the reason this person is returning now. They are not moving toward you because you chased them, begged for their attention, or tried forcing yourself back into their world. Scorpio, your energy changed first. The healing you carried through privately, the emotional control you developed under pressure, and the strength you built while surviving difficult seasons created a kind of magnetism that people can suddenly feel again without fully understanding why. You became more powerful in silence than you ever were through pursuit. The growth that happened beneath the surface changed the way people respond to your presence, and now certain connections begin gravitating back toward you naturally. This does not feel like coincidence, nostalgia, or luck suddenly reappearing. It feels more like destiny, recognizing that you have crossed into a different version of yourself, and this person becomes one of the signs confirming that transformation. Your evolution made you visible in a new way. The shift inside you created attraction without force, and that energy quietly pulled this connection back into motion. People with deeper emotional awareness recognize these changes quickly, because they can sense when someone has transformed through experience rather than appearance alone. The real breakthrough happened because you changed from within, not because you reached outward, searching for validation. Your energy became strong enough to attract instead of chase, and that difference changes every interaction around you now. Scorpio, who do you believe this person might be? Comment the first letter of their name, because the moment you acknowledge the connection, the energy surrounding it grows even stronger. Scorpio, the fourth breakthrough reaches into something most people spend their entire lives trying to understand. Yet once it awakens inside you, it changes the way you experience everything around you. During May 16 and 17, 2026, your intuition sharpens with unusual intensity, almost like a hidden sense inside you suddenly becomes impossible to silence. Dreams begin carrying emotional weight that lingers long after you wake up. Instincts strike faster and deeper than before, and certain feelings arrive inside your body before events even unfold in front of you. Something buried beneath your awareness begins opening slowly, and once that shift starts happening, it becomes difficult to return to the version of yourself that ignored these signals in the past. You start noticing details most people overlook without realizing it. The atmosphere of a room changes when tension enters it. Hidden motives become easier to read through body language and tone, and certain truths reveal themselves quietly, long before anyone says them out loud. It feels like the observant part of you that has always watched from beneath the surface is finally stepping forward with clarity. Scorpio, this is not your imagination creating stories or your mind searching for meaning where none exists. Your perception is becoming sharper because everything you have survived emotionally has trained you to recognize patterns, emotional shifts, and unspoken truth at a level that many people never fully develop. You may notice dishonesty in someone before they even finish explaining themselves. You may suddenly think about a person seconds before hearing from them, or sense a major decision approaching your life before any visible sign appears. Hidden opportunities begin standing out differently now because your awareness has stopped looking only at appearances and started paying attention to energy, timing, and emotional undercurrents. May 16th activates these feelings quietly at first, almost like subtle movements beneath still water. But by May 17th, the intensity becomes far harder to dismiss. It can feel as though your instincts are gathering scattered pieces together beneath the surface, while everyone else still sees disconnected fragments. This is not fantasy pulling you away from reality. The universe is sharpening your ability to recognize what has already been surrounding you all along. What makes this period even more powerful is that your intuition does not arrive only through comfort or reassurance. It also arrives through warnings, hesitation, tension, and moments that ask you to slow down and pay closer attention. The dreams that stayed with you recently, the strange emotional pull you felt earlier this week, and the situations that felt unusually heavy all carry meaning connected to this shift. There is one dream, one repeated image, or one emotional message that continues returning because it refuses to be ignored. The feeling attached to it grows stronger now, almost like something inside you is trying to direct your attention toward an important turning point. That dream may carry guidance, caution, or insight connected to an opportunity quietly approaching your life, and dismissing it too quickly could cause you to overlook something deeply important. Scorpio, trust your instincts more than you usually allow yourself to. Move toward the choices that create clarity and grounded confidence inside you, and step back from anything that immediately fills your body with heaviness, confusion, or emotional pressure. Your intuition is no longer functioning like a distant whisper in the background. It feels more like an internal compass that has finally learned how to guide you with accuracy after years of surviving emotional storms. As these 2 days continue unfolding, The energy around you shifts in ways that become increasingly noticeable. Certain people begin exposing themselves naturally through their behavior. Hidden truths rise to the surface without force, and situations become easier to understand because you are finally seeing beyond appearances. This is the moment to pay attention to patterns you once dismissed and emotional connections that only now begin fitting together clearly in your mind. The feelings that once confused you are beginning to reveal their purpose. They are signals asking you to notice what has been unfolding underneath your life this entire time, even during moments when nothing seemed clear on the surface. Scorpio, type in the comments the dream or message you remember most clearly from last night, because even the smallest detail strengthens your awareness and signals that you are truly listening to what your intuition has been trying to show you. And here is the deeper part of this shift, Scorpio. The dream that keeps returning is not only a dream because it feels more like a doorway trying to open inside your awareness. It points toward a decision, an opportunity, or a truth that your life is preparing to reveal. And these signs deserve your full attention. Write them down, sit with them, and trust what rises inside you, because May 16 and 17, 2026, carry the energy of awakening. Your instincts sharpen during these 2 days in a way that changes how you move through the world afterward. What once felt like random feelings begins revealing itself as guidance, protection, and clarity all at once. Once you recognize how strong your intuition has become, ordinary situations stop feeling ordinary because you start seeing beneath the surface of things. Scorpio, the fifth breakthrough reaches even deeper than the others because it touches the part of you that carried pain in silence. Something that wounded you, slowed you down, or made you question your own value is beginning to reverse direction. The weight you carried for too long starts shifting away from you, and the energy surrounding that loss begins turning back in your favor. This feels like balance restoring itself after a long season of emotional pressure. Betrayals begin exposing their lessons, heartbreak starts releasing its hold, and losses that once felt permanent no longer carry the same power over your future. During May 17 especially, this shift moves quickly and intensely. It does not arrive quietly because transformation this strong rarely does. For some Scorpios, a person who caused deep emotional pain may suddenly return with an apology or acknowledgement. Their response is not only about guilt, because they can feel the change in your energy now. The strength you built through survival, healing, and restraint created a presence they can no longer ignore. For others, the reversal appears through something tangible returning to your life. Money, recognition, opportunity, connection, or something you believed was completely lost begins finding its way back toward you in an unexpected form. This is not about luck suddenly appearing out of nowhere. It feels more like life correcting an imbalance that should never have existed in the first place. You endured pressure that could have broken many people, yet you continued moving forward even when nothing seemed to change. Now the return arrives with force instead of delay. Justice moves visibly, directly, and without hesitation, because what belongs to you is no longer staying out of reach. What most people fail to understand is that when something returns after transformation, it never comes back carrying the exact same energy. It returns stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the person you became while surviving the loss. Some of these changes may surprise you because they unfold faster and more powerfully than expected. Yet this is exactly how deep transformation works. Life is not only repairing the past here, it is repositioning your future at the same time. This is the moment to stop questioning whether you deserve what is returning, because the timing around these 2 days feels deeply aligned with the path you have been moving toward all along. Scorpio, if something was taken from you emotionally, spiritually, or materially, type "I take it back" in the comments. Every word becomes a declaration that you are ready to reclaim what was always meant for you. And the deeper truth is that life does not simply return these things unchanged. What once felt lost begins returning, multiplied, expanded, and carrying new meaning. The pain you survived becomes part of your strength now. What you once mourned begins transforming into opportunity, growth, and abundance because you refused to let pressure destroy who you were becoming. This is no longer only good news. It is healing, transformation, and justice arriving at the exact moment your life is prepared to receive it. May 16 and 17, 2026 are not random dates in your story. They mark the point where old pain begins losing control over your future, and where your energy starts aligning with the balance, recognition, and abundance you waited so long to feel. Life is not only returning what was lost, it is pushing your path forward at the same time. And now, Scorpio, here is the final truth. These 2 days act like a reset point for your destiny. The moment one timeline closes and another begins opening beneath your feet. Everything you have been waiting on starts aligning at once, because these breakthroughs were never accidental. They arrive because you became ready to carry them. You are here because your energy changed, because your spirit endured, and because the version of you that survived the darkest season is finally stepping into view. Scorpio, you were chosen to rise beyond old cycles, to transform pain into strength, and to trust instincts that others may never fully understand. This moment belongs to you, and your new timeline begins now. Scorpio, comment these words 10 times. I rise stronger this time. Every repetition strengthens the energy surrounding this transformation and anchors your new path more deeply into motion. This is the beginning of the version of you that has survived the fire, reclaimed its power, and finally started rising again.